Hello everybody. This presentation is about effective communication for results, and it is part 1. Our company is a coaching and training company, and our specialization field is communication. This presentation is specifically dealing with values and beliefs and body language in the communication process and the impact of those two concepts on communication. By way of introduction, effective communication can only be achieved if all parties in the communication process are aware and accountable. Our objective with this presentation is to create greater awareness of the impact of values and beliefs on communication, and secondly, the impact of body language on communication. I want to talk to you about the undeniable truth. There are two NLP presuppositions that I want to share with you here today. And the first one is the map is not territory. Our senses take in raw data from our environment. That raw data has absolutely no meaning other than the meaning we choose to give to it. So how does this show up in communication? The fact is that we are not from the same backgrounds. We have different sets of values and beliefs, and therefore our maps of the world is not the same. The way we view our world are different. Therefore, in communication, one needs to take this into consideration. If you don't, it could lead to conflict and major unhappiness. So the map is not the territory means that your map and my map, it's not the same map. And therefore, we need to have tolerance for one another. We have to have tolerance for each other's maps. The second concept. The meaning of your communication is the response that you will get. It does not matter what you meant. What matters is what results from your words, tone, and actions. Oftentimes we would say, but that's not what I meant. Unfortunately, that is your responsibility, not the other party. When you are communicating, you are responsible for the message that you are sending. If we were to just take cognizance of this and apply it in our lives, there will definitely be less conflict in the world, there will be less misunderstandings, and we will really start to enjoy communicating with one another. And we wouldn't constantly say that communication is a problem, because now you've taken accountability for the message that you are sending. Shared values and beliefs equals culture. Where does culture come from? How is culture made? How is it built up? Comes from shared values and beliefs, the way we were brought up, which communities we lived in. Those things shaped our values and shaped our beliefs. No one human being is necessarily having the same values and beliefs. Therefore, when we are in organizations and the organization has a certain set of values, and the individual has a different set of values, there could be potential misunderstandings, and the values are not lived out the way the organization would like it to be. Often when I go and train in organizations, I ask the question of delegates, what are the values of this organization? 9 times out of 10, I either get a blank stare or I get some attempt to tell me what it is. Yet, when I walked into the building, the values were beautifully plastered and decked on all the walls, and so is the vision and the mission statements. Yet the people do not live it, nor do they understand it. And that's where we come in. We have sufficient knowledge and experience in the corporate world to be able to deal with this, because what you need to do here is delve deep into the values of the human being, the individual, and find by all means a way to synchronize the two. If one attacks an individual's belief system or value system, that would be where immediate conflict will arise. So it's therefore critically important that we find a way to communicate better with our people in organizations and even in families, even in friendships. It's important to understand the values and the value rules and how that shows up for each and every individual. We have specific exercises that we do with individuals to get to their true values. Let's talk a little bit about body language. As you well know, body language is what your body is saying before it actually came out of your mouth. Oftentimes, people hear something that we thought we had never said, and that was actually our body speaking. If you look at the pictures on the screen, you'll see the guy with his arms folded. That is a picture of stating possibly that he is not ready for conversation. He's not open to conversation and is creating a barrier between himself and the other party. We have to be really careful about this, and especially where we have managers and subordinates, and if the staff member comes into your office and you immediately fold your arms and you sit back in your chair, that body language is saying to the staff member, I am not ready to talk to you, nor am I really interested in listening to you. So it's extremely important that we are cognizant and very aware of our body language. The picture on the right is a guy with his fingers together in a triangle form that is called steepling. And what that says is that this person is trying to show his authority. You will often find, maybe look next time, people in positions of authority will sit like this. And they will share from this point of view because they are trying to exert the authority that they rightfully have. Or maybe they don't. So be careful of doing that because it shows that you are more superior and you are talking from this level instead of this level. The palms that are showing up, we often talk with our hands. It's a good thing that the palms are showing up. That actually says that I come in peace and I want to have a conversation with you. And that's okay. As soon as we turn the hands around, it becomes a little bit more aggressive. Look at this. If I had to ask you to please stand in the corner, as opposed to please stand in the corner, which one was more open? This one. We have our hands open, it's a sign that we are open and we are ready to have the conversations. If our hands are up here, it's a bit frantic, isn't it? So we wouldn't want to be up here. We don't necessarily want to be down here either because that shows a little bit of insecurity, I guess. We want to be here. We want to talk, keep our voices and tone more or less here, as well as our hand gestures, more or less here. We call this the truth plane, above the belly button and underneath the shoulders. When you are speaking here, you are calm, you are relaxed, and you are engaged. Body language on the phone. Body language on the phone is just as important as when we are talking face to face. In fact, it's probably even more important. You lose about 50% of the communication on the phone because the person cannot see you. Therefore, you have to be far more aware of your body language. You need to keep your voice confident. You need to stay calm. Try not to fidget in your seat. Keep your feet firmly on the floor. When your feet are firmly on the floor, that means you are grounded. It's a better position to speak from. Try not to roll your eyes. Try not to make facial gestures because it can be heard through the phone. Our body language may not be able to be seen, but it can be heard. That's our senses, right? Our senses pick up on everything around us, and we have to be careful when we are communicating, that we are portraying the correct message, and that what the other people has picked up through their hearing sense is the right thing. Be mindful of potentially sighing or coming across as tired. We've all sometimes phoned a call center or something, and the person on the other side is sighing, frustrated, irritated. We don't like that, so let's not do it ourselves. Body language in meetings. Sit upright, never slouch. Keep your eyes focused on the person who is speaking and be mindful of your facial expressions yet again. You can see the lady in the picture is giving a yawn. She clearly doesn't want to be in that meeting. If you sit and you roll your eyes at something that somebody else has said, you never know who's watching. And quite honestly, that can become conflict at the end of the day because you made a gesture with your face that said, I don't agree with what this person is saying, therefore I roll my eyes. Let's look at emotions. What do emotions tell us? Our facial expressions, they show our emotions. You can see the picture of the little girl. Well, kids don't hide their emotions. They show you exactly the way it is, whether you like it or not. She is clearly angry. The guy in the top right, maybe you recognize him, he is showing sadness. Our eyes are the windows to our souls. They tell a story. So we might be saying we're fine, but our eyes are saying something completely different. We need to be aware of what our eyes are showing. That shows sadness. Bottom left is showing surprise. The eyes are bigger, the mouth is slightly opened. Sign of surprise. And the one on the right hand side at the bottom is happiness. You can see the eyes are smaller, he is clearly laughing or smiling, and that is a genuine happy face. In conclusion, I want to yet again reiterate, the meaning of your communication is your responsibility, whether through spoken word or body language. We need to all understand this undeniable truth, internalize it, work with it, learn from it, and start being accountable for our own communication. Your values and your beliefs may not always serve you. It is very important to do the exercise, which we can certainly help you with, to find out what your true values are, so that you can start focusing your attention on your true values and live your life in accordance and aligned with your true values. If you're in an organization where your values do not fit the values of the organization, you need to understand why, what is happening, and you need to do something about it. Join us for part 2 coming soon. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Better still, subscribe now so that you don't miss out on more nuggets on how to communicate for results.